fragmented on how we do our politics.
Our police is
and
scared
the stand
about
of the institution.
No, it's not about being scared.
It's not even about being
It's
scared.
about like the society has selective way of looking at rights and wrongs. If someone they support is doing wrong, then it's quite right for them. So again, it's a social construct between the political...
And in Dimul, you have to remember this. This, my friend here, is a litigant. And you'll find that most of the politician cases that are reached to the court level, it is even 0.002% that have been arrested and be taken to industrial area. We need to agree that even these lawyers, they're not playing their part.
What do you mean? Actually, your
every day they're defending criminals in the courts.
It is a job. It is their job.
His party is very
Why are you defending criminals?
Right?
While it is very obvious.
What do you mean?
They have violated the constitution.
His party is very rampant.
Even
Which
murderers,
rampant?
Their party is very rampant.
What do you mean by the word rampant?
Do you remember when the ruling party was coming into power and a lot of people were being left?
I'm asking you to defend your profession. Even murder suspects.
They're being defended.
No, they have a right to their defense.
They have a right. Yeah.
But why defending a murderer?
But no, there's
the question.
Let me respond to you. Now, the law does not work that way. Everybody has a right. Even if you kill somebody.
So if law divides the logic,
there's something called...
Then it means what is happening even.
So that is why...
Let's listen to the lawyer.
You're not a lawyer, so let me respond.
No, you're a politician lawyer.
You're not a lawyer.
You're just a politician who is a lawyer.
My brother.
This brother is a politician who is a lawyer.
Stick to your profession. So have some decorum. We are saying this. In law, we are saying that we have to prove your innocence beyond reasonable doubt. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Beyond reasonable doubt?
I read law every day.
Yeah. So at that point, just keep it there. Go and research about it, then you come and give me answers.
I'm not researching, I'm listening to you.
Yeah. It's something called beyond reasonable. You must be proved to be innocent beyond... we have to prove your case. Have you seen the Obado case?
But that comes after you've been arrested and presented
and followed
to
the due process and presented to court.
That's no problem, we understand that.
So you
don't even have to explain.
What is the issue?
So, on this issue of Peter Kaluma, what would be the reluctance to just arrest him, interrogate him on what he said, and then find out the truth? The same way we had the MP for Mukurweini arrested and taken to court.
Because it's simple. It's simple. It's not in the best interest of the government to arrest or seem to, pursue the rule of justice against a two-term brigadier. It's not in their best interest. And I can tell you, if any person from the two-term, team, says something or does something, to cause disorder or violence, the government will simply close its eyes and bury its head in the sand, because they need him to advocate for, the two-term. But I want to say this, Idimuli, that whether you are in the one-term or two-term brigade, I think we are all responsible for this nation and the peace of this nation. I do not advocate if it is somebody from the one-term who is spewing, hatred and division, wacha ashikwe, regardless of who he supports. If it's somebody in the government and they're spewing hatred and inciting people and violence, wacha ashikwe. It is up to us now, number one, even as politicians, amongst our different camps, that we hold our leaders accountable. Kama ni mimi, tuko na mjumbe wangu ameongea vibaya, let me hold him accountable. But it should be also the same even to the pro-government, that if you hear somebody or mtu amefanya kitendo and they are doing, something to divide or to cause hatred, let them be held accountable. But above everything, there's something Regina said that, when, for example, a member of parliament who has incited people has been taken to court and the people are coming with, leaves and everything, let them make noise. Me, my thinking is, let them be arrested. They are paid up. I'm a politician also. I will pay 50 people to come and say Pithon atolewe. It's not the whole community of Embu, I can tell you. From the 600,000 people in Embu, I will just pay like 50, 100 people, and then they will say watu wao. No, say watu wao, ni watu ambao I have mobilized for them to come and say huyo ni mtu wetu. So this notion of ati huyo ni mtu wetu, I can tell you, politicians are very crafty and shrewd people. They will pay a few people and then to say it's their own people. So even the voter, Idimuli, has a responsibility. It will be very unfortunate that we are seeing all those names that you have mentioned, and then we are seeing them in 2028 that have been elected into office. So even to the voter, they have a responsibility.
And true to that, back in 2017, we had an instance where quite a number of politicians across board were arrested and taken to Pangani police station, Muthaiga police station.
And they found themselves.
And they were all from all different parties, and they decided to become friends while in custody and stuff like that. And it was of zero consequence because most of them got re-elected. Yeah? So do you agree that, yes, the voter also has a role to play in this? That the voter doesn't mind hate speech, the voter doesn't mind incitement, the voter doesn't care that this person is just spewing hate?
So one thing I'll start by saying again, it's the contract between the people and the politicians and the institutions. The people themselves have selective bias where they decide what is wrong and when it is wrong. So for example, when the lawyer here is speaking about ideal democracy and how things should be done, but again when we speak about him defending politicians, he says it's everyone's right. It is a selective bias. He chooses to see it however he sees it when it suits him.
No, but surely, allow me to defend the law.
No.
A doctor would still treat.
No, that is a very different situation because the reason why most politicians get out of courts and cases, it's because of him. But at the same time, he says we need ideal democracy so that things progress. So again, we'll go back to the main factors. Like he's referencing to ideal democracy. We are at 60-something years old as a country. We have not seen a country that has reached ideal democracy. Meritocracy, maybe in China, that has been achieved. Ideal democracy has not been achieved. And as the legal people of this country, what have they done with the civic education to make it? Because ideal democracy does not work for politicians. Ideal democracy works when the citizenry is informed and the politicians are informed. That is why most times I'll see people talking about highlights of what...
Are you saying the voter in Kenya is backward?
I'm not saying they are backward. I'm saying we need more information. They need more information to be able to differentiate between policies and political theatrics.
This is 2026. Are we saying heading into the election, the voter in Kenya is wanting? They do not understand a lot of things. Wako inje.
You cannot.
Let me defend my point. Let me defend that point. Because what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that people do not understand. What I'm saying is there are structures. This is how we want things to be done, the ideal way, and there are how things are done. So we must get to the focal point of what do we want, especially as a youth. For example, let me give this reference. Yeah? There is the Gen Z movement. There is Linda Mwananchi, and there is the Gachagua opposition, right? All these people are people who have been in politics before. They are not representing the youths. So what we need as the youths now is to define what do we want between these people. We can come out for rallies, we can show for those things, but what do we actually want? Are we members of political parties? Do we contribute to ORPP and the paid party membership? You know, what is... You see, this is where the vote matters. It is not the mood. You know, I had a conversation the other day and someone is telling me, oh, unajua huku Mount Kenya, mood inasema ni DCP. But the mood does not matter. It is the vote. Are you a member of a party? Are you participating in a party? Are you voting for that party? You see?
Is that the ideal situation, the expectation? Or as she says, alianza vizuri akasema, piga kura ako inje.
Mimi sijasema ako nje. Mimi sijasema ako nje.
That's why we were recording.
We are recording.
Yeah? What I want to just respond to her. One, she has talked about the political mood. You must be alive to the politics of the day.
True.
You are not alive to the politics of the day.
I am.
Clearly not. But I will not go into that. That's your own decision. It's a political right. Now, she has talked about the Constitution of Kenya, and that's why I work with this document everywhere. Actually, I'll give it to you so that you walk around with it and read it. Article 38 talks about political rights. Okay? So every politician, every citizen has a right to join a political party and do politics. Okay? But at the same time, again, the same constitution under chapter 4, the Bill of Rights, talks about the right to fair trial. So even whatever you do outside here, as long as you're arrested, we must follow the due process. So the right to fair trial, rights of arrested persons, Article 49, must be followed. That's why we're saying the principle of audi alteram partem, the right to fair. Okay? So do not mix up these things. On the issue of the voter, I feel like the voter is a very simple thing, civic education. The voter needs to be, it's not that our people are so naive, it's just that our people need civic education.
In 2026, you want to tell me the voter has little information?
The voter has a lot of information and he understands his civil duty. What I'm just trying to say is there are some cultures that we need to remove from our system, to flush it from our system.
It's a culture issue.
For example, like things like bribery of voters. You see what is happening in Kebaso's constituency in Borabu, whereby the citizens are being told, let us remove this culture of us bribing you. I'll give you an example. Let's talk about she's a young person and she wants to run for office. I'm not doing politics. I don't even belong to any political party. But you will find it difficult if your people want handouts. You will not be able to do it well. A new culture that we have come to develop, a new thing that is coming up so well, is on the issue of financing political campaigns. You can see the new culture of now people coming up with pay bills and the citizens pushing for their agenda and actually promoting and supporting their preferred candidates. Look at what IBC gave. IBC has told us that for a presidential campaign, you need around 6.1 billion as the limit of what you should be using to campaign. Now tell me, let's say if whoever comes in, if the presidential salary is 2 million per month roughly, let's say that gross. If you do it by 12 months in a year, that's around 60. No, that's around 24 million, okay? If you multiply by 5 years, that's 120 million, okay? So you're using 120 million, you're using 6.1 billion for campaigns in order to get 120 million in 5 years. Does the math make sense? Mm-hmm. Doesn't.
No. Brian?
It's very sad that we are a developing country. And when you're developing, some of the things that you may not wish to see it happening might catch up with you. And at some point, we came from different families. And if you've ever been on both sides, maybe you start as a humble background and then you raise into a wealthy family at some point, you will find that it's a trial and error. Your dad pays for your school fees, sometimes you being sent home, your mom tries to do some works in the neighborhood to pay for your school fees. You are trying and error, but they are not certain of the quality of education that you are getting so that you may become somebody in the future. But they are trying. The same situation applies in Kenya. We really want to go forward as a country, but because we still have issues like poverty, inequality, other counties are better than others, you find we cannot be at the same time. I'm very happy that education has tried as much as it can to bring this kind of equality, where people can be literate enough so that they can have this, what we call the gift of the Holy Spirit, the gift of discernment. But unfortunately, this gift of discernment...
Holy Spirit?
I'm speaking, let's go.
We're talking about the voter, right?
It's fine. This spirit of discernment that I'm talking about is very important in voting. You must be able to have this wisdom and knowledge, still the gift of the fruit of the No, I'm giving the point.
Okay.
Because it's very important that when we are seeking this intercession from the Supreme Being, that He may elevate our life, may He show us the way. Perhaps also we must invite Him again to show us the way on how we must elect the leaders.
So we are lacking in awareness.
We are lacking.
You agree?
Because let me tell you something. At this point, where I think the registered voters on the Constitute of the Young People are more than 10 million, as we speak now, 10 plus. I think if the young people were on the same par and sharing the same ideological aspect of wanting this country to progress, they will have make their political choice.
Okay.
Which will be very consequential and defining moment for this country.
But
because we have issues in different counties and we are not in the same position as a country, then it becomes very difficult putting these ideologies together.
And I think the lawyer will correct me that it is not expected that the youth, that demographic is homogeneous and they'll all think in the same way. Everyone has their independence of thought and stuff like that. Yes. On the voter, how do you gauge the level of understanding or awareness of the voter and their duty in this? And are they able to discern and say, okay, fine, this guy is an inciter, he's been spewing hate speech, and probably they don't need to get elected?
Actually, just to ride on Brian's point, even if not everyone has that discerning spirit, at least the same Bible says that by their fruits we will know them. So even before tufike hapo kwa discernment and the Holy Spirit, tunaona, we know who is spewing hatred. So if unfortunately not everyone is a believer, but by their fruits we'll be able to know them and we'll make that decision. Allow me just to answer your question about the voters. If the Kalau by-election is anything to go by, I think we are safe. I think we are safe because they were given boats, they were given even the old mama's shoes, they were given, the gas, gumboots and everything, but they still, even despite the intimidation and the violence, they still made their voices were heard. So if we are to go by that elections, moving to 2027, I think this country is going to be safe. I think tumetoka mahali ambapo lazima upatiwe handout and you have to vote for that particular person. I think now they are very enlightened. That is my money, it's taxpayers' money. So I do not owe you a vote simply because you have given me that particular money. So
voter hayuko nje.
Voter hayuko nje. Me I'm thinking we are very safe. But also number two, just to answer Regina and also to commend her even for running for the seat. The reason why we have these recycled leaders, politicians getting into office all the time is not just because of the voter, but the lack of option. So if we say tuko kadi, na tuko kadi unaenda pale on the ballot paper, but yes, uko kadi, but you find, the same old politicians. That is why I commend her, because if she doesn't vie, we will still have the same people in Igeshogo who have been there since, the time of Methuselah. They have been there. So if we do not present ourselves as young people, then we'll still be having the same
We need new faces.
Yes, like Akina Regina. Yes. I may not agree with her politically. Mimi niko one term, ako two term, but I commend her because if she does not run for that seat, tutakuwa na the same people who have been there. And as I finish, she said that Linda Mwananchi doesn't stand for the young people. Amesema that these old politicians, I want to tell her, Linda Mwananchi represent the young people. And even the person, figure of Sifuna, himself in politics is young. Who was being told he's an infant in politics, he shouldn't retire. So Sifuna hasn't been born yet. He's still starting. So, and he represents the voices of the many people. And as you said in the Muli, the Gen Zs, there is a likelihood that we are going to vote as a bloc. Maybe 10%. Listen to me. In terms of listen. This is my argument. The Gen Zs have been speaking against the abductions. They have been speaking about accountability of government. And I can tell you they are very passionate about it. Okay. So wakati wanasema wako kadi, sisi on our side as vijana uongozini, we are just encouraging young people to run for these particular offices so that we have at least an option, different options on the ballot paper. I
have exactly 3 minutes. I'll give you each 45 seconds for your parting shot. Talk to the youth. Hata ukitaka kuuza sera yako, Regina, you go first.
Thank you. I would like first to say that it is our time now. It is time for us to align ourselves properly. It is our time to seek those seats, and it is our time to be part of the decision making. We cannot drive in democratic, in handouts, and we can also not make changes that we want through nomination. We need legislative power to be part of the decision making table. I'd also like to say
why are you whispering?
He's not proud of his party.
I'm proud. I'm a proud member of the United Democratic Party.
There's nothing democratic about it. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to talk to our young Kenyans, but before I do that, I want to just give some assignments to my sister and brother. Tomorrow being a weekend, there are some books that I was able to go and read because literature is a mirror that reflects the society. Once you read these books, at least you'll come back with a new perspective. You will decolonize your mind. So when you go home this weekend, look for Ngugi wa Thiong'o's Petal of Bloods, 1977, A Grain of Wheat. Go and look at Marjorie Olude's book, Coming to Birth. Go and read Wole Soyinka, The Man Has Died. go and look for a book also called music. If you love music, go and listen to Fela Likilapo Kuti. He will really teach you a lot about how the society works. So that when you come back here next time, at least you are more open-minded. And speaking of decolonizing the mind, go and read Bugu Yongo's book, Decolonizing the Mind. That will at least will open your mind. Thank you very much, Kenyans. Let us keep on pushing. Let us believe in the rule of law, democracy, and separation of powers. That is the only way we have to ensure that we have hope for our nation.
Thank you, Kelly. Brian, you go.
Mine is just for the young people. I think let's promote peace. Let's have that gift of the discernment, because I do believe this country is very important for the posterity and even for your family in the coming future. So let's promote that and make sure that we do the right thing at the right time, and also to evolve in a very amicable country. And I know we love Kenya.
All right. Python, you wrap it up for us.
Thank you so much. Mine is to thank you for the opportunity that you have given us for our voices to be heard. I just have 3 things. Number 1, to the political class, I just urge them to have something called political tolerance. We may differ ideologically with our political stance, but let's observe political tolerance, and especially to us, the young people who are venturing into politics. Number 2, to the government, use persuasion as compared to violence. That will do you good, and it will give you a second term, though the chances are very slim. And number 3, on the 25th of August, that's next week on Tuesday, we're going to have something we are calling Forum for Young Aspirants, those who are running for office in 2027. It's going to be at Ufungamano House. That's next week on Tuesday. So I'm appealing to every young person who's running for office. Wakuja, we shall be having IBC to train us and to empower us, to give us knowledge, and ORPP and representatives of the political parties. So I'm urging all the young aspirants, ukipatikana hiyo siku kuja, let's be empowered and let's come and network together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Python Mushoki, who was a team leader of Vijana Uongozini. Kipkorir Brian from Youth Affairs, UDA. Floyd Oma Okello, lawyer, mediator, and Secretary General of the Media Lawyers Association of Kenya. And Regina Wangeshi Mureithi, a young MP aspirant for the Gishugu member of the National Assembly seat with the UDA party ticket. Thank you so much for your time at TV47 today. That has been the Youth Perspective. Remember, next week on Thursday will be exactly 16 years since the promulgation of the Constitution, which we are basing all our discussions on. The headlines today: marked man, police IG on the front page. This is one of the people we are saying, uko show uko kazi. Other men were asking about what their role is and if they are proud of what they are doing. Pahali wako is a DCI boss, the National Assembly Speaker, and this gentleman from the NCIC, who I'm not even sure we should be talking about. ICC alarm bells ringing, sound again as Kenya heads to 2027 elections. That's a star. Gachagua alenga ngome ya Ruto, some political news, and cheap deposits boost bank profits. That's a Business Daily. Those are the dailies, and these are the big discussions this morning. My name is Freddie Ndemuli. Remember, after the break, Mambo ni mengi. DJ Bluey 254 will be here. Plus, Jua Kali. Do stand by for that. Good morning.